You know, every book has a story, but I'm not talking about the one printed on its pages. Sometimes the real story is how the book even came to exist in the first place. And that's exactly what we're diving into with Profound Stories by John Willis and Derek Lewis. It's a tale of passion, a creative crisis, and a brilliant solution that saved a project from, well, the cutting room floor. Okay, so it all kicks off with this line from the foreword. They call it an emotional affair. Whoa, I mean, that's a heck of an opening line, right? It just grabs you and makes you think, wait, what's really going on here? And no, this affair wasn't what you might be thinking. It was all about the creative process. The authors were talking about the incredibly intense, totally all-consuming 2 years they spent writing their first book, Deming's Journey to Profound Knowledge. Listen to how co-author Derek Lewis puts it. He says he fell in love with the manuscript, that he couldn't stay emotionally distant. It just became a part of his life. And you know, this wasn't just some project for him. It was a deep personal investment. But that exact same level of passion, well, that's what set the stage for a major, major problem. Because when you're that invested, it creates a huge problem. After pouring every ounce of themselves into this work, the authors ran into a wall, a challenge that, honestly, threatened to tear the whole thing apart. So, here's what happened. The early feedback on the book was great. People loved it, but there was one consistent complaint. The manuscript was just too much. It was so packed with all these fascinating stories and side trails and rabbit holes that readers were, well, they were getting lost. And to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, the original draft was a whopping 92,000 words long. I mean, that's a true labor of love right there, just stuffed with every single thing they had discovered. But the publisher came back with a hard limit, 80,000 words. That meant they had to cut 12,000 words. Think about that. 12,000 words of stuff they had poured their hearts into just had to go. And for Derek Lewis, this was just brutal. He said he mourned the losses. Every single cut felt like a personal attack. He was fighting tooth and nail to keep these amazing stories in the book. You know, the very stories the reviewers said were making it confusing. You can imagine it was an absolute nightmare for the editors. But then, right in the middle of all this pain and all this editing, something shifted. What felt like a huge problem was about to become an amazing opportunity, because co-author John Willis had a sudden flash of genius. And it all came down to a simple question. What if? What if the stories didn't have to be left on the cutting room floor? Why just throw away all that incredible research? Why let these fantastic anecdotes just vanish? And that was it. John's solution was just brilliantly simple. Don't delete the stories. Move them. Put them in another book, all by themselves. Give them their own space where they could shine without getting in the way of the main narrative. And just like that, Profound Stories was born. And it's important to get this. It's not a sequel, and it's not really a standalone book either. It's something different. It's a dedicated companion designed specifically to make the first book an even richer experience. Okay, so now we know why this book exists, which is a cool story in itself, but what's actually in it? What kind of stuff was so important that it demanded its own book? Well, you can think of it like a treasure chest, or maybe like the B-sides from your favorite album. It's all the hard-won anecdotes and deep dives that add so much color and context. But here's the key. It's really designed to be read after you've read the main book. That's when it all really clicks. And the sheer range of topics in here is just wild. I mean, one minute you're learning about the history of Sarawak, the next you're talking about The Devil Wears Prada, you're jumping from MacArthur's edicts in occupied Japan to the origins of non-determinism to Lucy's tribe and the first tools, all the way to Dr. Deeming's final years with his wife Lola. It is an absolutely fascinating collection. And really, that brings us to the whole point of this book. It's not just about the author's journey, as cool as that is. It's really an invitation for you to continue on your own journey of learning. The foreword uses this great metaphor. It says that learning about Deming, it's like peeling an onion. It's definitely not a subject you just learn once and then you're done with it. Think about it. Every time you have one of those aha moments and you feel like you've peeled back a layer, what do you find? Another layer underneath. There's always more to go. It's this continuous process of discovery. True profound knowledge isn't some final destination you arrive at. It's the journey itself. And that's really the final message here. This book, which was born out of what seemed like a total disaster, is really just a tool for you. It's another checkpoint in your own journey to profound knowledge. So it really just leaves you with one question, doesn't it? What layer of your own onion are you going to peel back next?